and they're going to have a bowl first to beat the first game of this tri-series against Nepal on Monday, 2 days ago. And it was a big win, that. So Nepal coming in today, they're going to want to try and change things around for themselves, try and pick up a win. And that should boost some confidence for the visitors here. We're looking at King City tracks. They're not the easiest to bat on, and we saw that in the first game a couple of days ago. It's a little bit slow, the ball holds up a bit, and regardless of the green tinge, it doesn't do what you'd expect for a seamer. It is going to be the same track today as well. It's had a couple of days to bake in the sun, dry up a little bit. Not as green as it looked 2 days ago, but we would expect it to play very similar as it did on Monday.
So going to be spin to open things up. We'll see Shakil Ahmed, who had a really good T20 World Cup in the Caribbean, get things going from the north end of the ground. Arjun Saud is out there. Big opportunity for him. Hasn't had a huge number of them for Nepal. He's a popular man amongst the fans as well.
Turn as well. Testing the batters early on here, Oman.
The surface played pretty well the other day. I know, certainly from looking at it, you would have had a look and you'd have thought, God, it's very, very green. I know this camera angle in particular doesn't quite show that, but they've left a lot of grass on it, and we do potentially have 4 surfaces to use across the 12 internationals we'll play here. But we've stayed on the same one as a couple of days ago, which is understandable because it generally played pretty well.
Absolutely, and I expected that all 4 wickets on this square are going to play generally the same. And no surprises that we're using the same track again here. We do have quite a few games to come between the T20s and the ODIs.
This one's bowled into the surface, and certainly that's where we're going to see the first runs from an overthrow. You know, Oman have, in the last little while, struggled a little bit with their fielding. They're an ageing team. They do have a slightly younger outfit today, but I think it's one of their best fielders who's caused the misfield. Ayan Khan went to his left, got the throw in, and there was nobody backing up. So Saud will get off the mark. The first run goes to him. Yeah, certainly the 250 we felt was above par, but that's not to say that Nepal won't be wanting something similar to what Canada scored. Nepal at all 3 facets.
Yeah, massive victory. Actually, it never looked like Canada was going to get to 253. But that big push that they got from Dylan Hayliger and the skipper Nick Curtin towards the end of the innings. About 13 overs left in that first 50, and Canada really took that game away. It's going to be the end of the first over. 1 for no loss, Nepal.
Let's get another look at the points table. Another piece of news from this morning was the massive victory. We don't see many whitewash victories, or lost 4. They were beaten out of sight. I think a lot of UAE understand, no Vrithia Aravind and no Asif Khan in that squad. Two of their leading run scorers. Definitely Vrithia Aravind was their leading run scorer in the last cycle. Khan, as recently as the last series, scored the 4th fastest ODI century at a brilliant qualifier last year. Out of favour, and USA continue their good form. I think USA fans will argue they should have played 6 and won 6. They lost 2 games against the Netherlands from quite remarkable positions, and maybe the men from America are making a statement that it'll be them, alongside the Netherlands and Scotland, who are going to battle out for the top spot. Remember, the top 4 sides will advance to the Cricket World Cup qualifier that we'll see played in the first or maybe second quarter of 2027. We'll explain a bit more about this pathway through this first power play. Cally Mullet will get things going and immediately get ones to bounce through the top of the surface. It's come up maybe towards the shoulder of Arjun Saud. Not sure if it's carried to Faya's butt at second slip. A fearsome first delivery.
Fearsome indeed, after some spin on the other end. Right into it with some extreme pace, and that one did bounce quite a bit. And he's lucky that it didn't carry to the second slip. Just falling short.
No ball. Cally Mullet has overstepped, so going to be a free hit. There is just a slight hill, is there, kind of running down from this the pavilion end that Cally Mullet is going to have to adjust to. They look ideal. Conditions for Cally Mullet to bowl in, don't they? He's a tall fast bowler, should get good bounce. But this time he's overstepped, and after a long inspection from the captain and the bowler, Arnold Medella says, you've still overstepped. It's still a no ball. It's still a free hit.
Some discussion there over that. He just seems adamant that he's not one to bowl a no ball. How did that happen? But he is a tall man.
That's hacked away. We've got a handful of Nepal fans who've made the journey up here on a Wednesday morning who are pretty pleased with that. A little bit agricultural, but it's 4 to the total.
First boundary up for Nepal, and it comes in style. Some confidence. It was a free hit, and he just helped it along the way into the leg side. One bounce, 4 runs, and almost as a welcome to the game to the Nepal fans on the stands. Very little error, margin of error for bowlers these days in cricket, and unfortunate for the bowler. He overstepped, and
A little shuffle down the track, big appeal from Cally Mullet. Not a lot going for that. Hit him outside the line, too high. Always emphatic with his appeals. 2 slips in place, a gully as well. And so just trying to counteract any early movements.
just straightening up a little bit. It's a long way down from the stumps.
Watchful in defence this time. Big opportunity for Arjun Saud of Nepal back in April. Played the 3 50-over games there with scores of 4, 5 and 36, and there was an action before that in 50-over format in the men's PM Cup, which is the primary 50-over competition. This one beats the outside edge. Good finish from Cally Mullet. Apart from the no ball, it was all generally pretty good. 6 for none. You surprised by the 3 changes for Nepal?
I am surprised with the decision to drop Dipender Singh Airy. He didn't get a lot of bowling first game. You had mentioned it multiple times throughout that first game as to why he's not come in to bowl. And then it was tough conditions when he came out to bat, just managing the 8 runs. But by then there wasn't much left but to go for it. The intent had consistently lacked from the batting order. From the time that they walked out, it was just very defensive, so interesting choice there.
I think one of the thought processes will have been, in terms of Kushal Malla being left out, there's not as much left arm spin with Nazishan Maksud, and Shakil Ahmed, even though he's a left arm spinner, he's a real flat sort of darting bowler. You just have to watch the balls that are going to pop on the surface. That's very important. So you would suspect that Gulshan Jah will play that left-hand roll down the order. There won't necessarily be a concern about lack of left-handers. If Maksud was here, 20 overs left-arm spin, it might be a different thing. The challenge is Aki Vilias can bowl both, can't he? We'll see him bowl his right-arm spin and right-arm off-spin to the left-handers. But there does need to be a mechanic found to score here in the power play. Been very defensive thus far for Nepal. That is going to be 4, but not in any way where it gets off an under edge off the toe of the bat.
Well, you call it luck or you call it placement, regardless, it's 4 on here, and Nepal do need to try and be a bit more, not aggressive per se, but show a little bit more intent with their batting. Try and get the fielders on the back foot.
Straight through, and I'm not sure how this is missed. It's done everything but take out the off stump, wasn't he? Gave his body. Just the placement for that slip. I really want. Good over for Shakil. Just 4 from